YouTube. Indie Truck Davy here with a Ditch the Debit appeal to the people of Scotland. The news has just come through. I've just picked a story up on yahoo.co.uk that energy prices are expected to rise by 78% in October, taking the average household bill to £3,600 a year. The latest from Cornwall Insight is that they expect the energy cap to rise by £800 in January, taking the average household bill to £4,400 a year. That's a quarter of the average income or the minimum wage. It is a third, in fact, it's almost a half of the state pension, which is £9,800 a year. Gone up a wee bit because of the cap, but even at then, it's still going to be a third. Sorry, gone up a wee bit because of inflation and the triple wall, but the 8% that's gone up by isn't going to cover an extra £800, never mind the rise in October. So in order to protect our friends, our families, our neighbours, yous who have direct debits, please cancel them. We're not saying don't pay your bill, we're just saying cancel your direct debit. Make them send you a paper bill. Make them send somebody to read your meter. That way it costs them. The other thing to do is if they refuse to return any money you have in credit, or if they tell you they're going to increase your bill because you want to move to a monthly a non-direct debit payment, then complain to Ofgem. Every complaint sent into Ofgem costs the electricity providers £375. That's just for you making the complaint. That's not for them investigating it. For every complaint that hits Ofgem's desk, they charge the energy companies £375. So ditch a direct debit. If they threaten you, make a complaint to Ofgem and hit them where it hurts, because it's the only way we're going to bring these profiteering bastards to their knees. Our families are going to freeze this winter. Granny's going to die. This isn't funny. Half the state pension gone on buying and providing heat and warmth for your house. That's not on, people. There's a colour on. The only way to bring these bastards to their knees is civil disobedience. And I mean civil disobedience. So I implore you all who are on a direct debit, cancel your direct debit. Let's hit these buggers where it hurts them in their pockets. Because legally, when they send you a paper copy of your bill, you've got 21 days and a further 8 days. So 29 days to pay your bill. So 21 days the red letter will come out. That'll give you 8 days to pay your bill. Make them wait. Hit them in the pocket. This is an outrage. £4,400 a year for electricity and gas. But in my case, just electricity. I can't afford that. I'm sure you guys can't afford that. What we do know is that Granny can't afford it. She's already riding the bus to stay warm. They're talking about making warm banks where people can go to get a wee heat during the day because they can't afford to heat their houses. This is Dickensian times. We'll get people at food banks, soup kitchens, and we'll get people going to have to get into public buildings to heat up or ride the bus like Granny. It's not on, folks. Spread this around, please. We have to encourage people to dump their direct debits and hit these energy providers where it hurts. The other campaign we need to get up and running this week about on where we get our fuel, and hit the big fuel companies one at a time. 1 week don't use Esso, next week don't use BP, next week don't use Shell, next week don't use Asda, next week don't use Tesco, don't use Morrison's, don't use Jet, don't use whatever. But we have to get organised. We have to bring these buggers to their knees. This is getting out of hand. People are going to die because of this rampant profiteering. Right, that's the emergency broadcast on rampant profiteering. Ditch your direct debit because the energy costs to heat your home and light your home are going to rise to £4,400 a year when the crap is risen again in January. That's another £800 getting scalped out of your bank account. or out of your pocket. The other thing is, if you ditch your direct debit and you can't pay your full monthly payment when they send you a paper bill, pay them something. Pay them something. They can't cut you off. They have to accept a payment. All right. Ditch your direct debit, folks. That's the end of Talk Davy broadcast on Ditch Your Direct Debit this evening. Good night, folks.